Yeah. Yeah, well, then we've got New Albany.
Yeah.
As Todd's game.
Try to get over the back.
Big tailgate this year. It's in the day.
Yeah, 3:30, right?
Yep, and it's in September, so
Okay.
it's better than November. It's just good.
The second oldest.
I'll take that.
And graduate transfer. So they got us some tickets. So he gave me some tickets.
I think they're going to have a decent team.
We got a few kids playing for them.
Yeah, every time I see the coach, I say, try to keep the local kids on. We got some good kids here. Well, they got two kids. The kid that was 2 years ago, quarterback at Troy. Apparently, you know what happens. He's going to end up being a defensive back or something. But that kid can throw. And the other kid was a great receiver for him. Fast little guy. So, was pretty good. Perfect. They just got to remember not to lock their knees. It's the whole key. How you doing?
Here. Do they go reserved or? All right. Come on.
Oh. Yeah, there's something. There's something.
Let us remember, as we begin our new school year, we ask our loving God to be with us so we may experience His presence and the many blessings in our lives. We pray that our eyes will be open to the challenges and exciting opportunities that this new school year brings. Open our hearts and minds to new friends and new teachers. Give us a generous spirit to be enthusiastic with our schoolwork and courage to accept new experiences. Help us to establish new friendships as we maintain the relationships already built. We pray that we may be a sign of God's love in the world. St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts.
Good afternoon, students, faculty, and the rest of the CBA community joining us today. Welcome to our 2019 flag raising and remembrance ceremony. Today marks the beginning of a new school year. Students are experiencing an array of emotions. New students, you may be nervous, but I'd like you to turn those nerves into excitement because I promise CBA will bring you great opportunities. To the new cadets at the back of the formation, soon you will be part of the brigade, which has a brotherhood you will one day realize. Returning students, welcome back. You have another year to improve yourselves, and do not take it for granted, because we are all blessed to be CBA students. Also, don't be shy to help out the new guys. All of us were new students at one point, let's not forget. Seniors, it's finally our time. We have one last ride, and while I know we're excited for the future, let's not wish time away because it will go by quickly. I'm excited to see us lead after being followers for years, and we finally have our chance to leave an impact on the school. Next Wednesday marks the 18th anniversary of the devastating events that took place on September 11th. This ceremony honors those who have passed and the numerous brave men and women who have loyally served our nation. Let their sacrifices not be in vain. As cadets, this uniform we wear is shared by those brave individuals who fight to defend our country. We cannot forget that, which is why we must continue to wear it with dignity. Before I turn the microphone over to Dr. Schlegel, I want to wish the student body and faculty good luck this year. Let's continue to make CBA a special place. Go Brothers.
Thank you, Isaiah. Today, as we welcome our 540 students onto our beautiful campus, we will mark the start of a new school year with our traditional flag raising and 9/11 remembrance ceremony. The United States flag is a symbol of our country, and accordingly, it is protected as sacred by the military, our brave men and women who defend the nation and preserve its security. At CBA, our ceremony reminds us that we start fresh each year. That although we have a 160-year history, each school year has an independent history. This year is yours. In raising our flag today, we take a moment for prayer and reflection for those who died or were injured on September 11th, 2001. And we honor those brave men and women who heroically fight for our freedom and to ensure we never suffer such a day again. As we raise our flag on campus for the 2019-20 school year, we take this opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate two individuals who have dedicated their lives to school, service, and country by inducting them into the CBA JROTC Hall of Fame. Their names will forever be engraved on a brick around this flagpole in honor of their service. Additionally, we will honor a graduate who is devoted to learning, to faith, and to service. Furthermore, the CBA graduate who exemplifies the Lasallian characteristic of service to others. From the class of 1952, Colonel Chris Bogages was a well-liked student who participated in sports and theater while at CBA. He was a natural leader here at CBA, who went on to attend Niagara University to study law and then joined the Air Force. On March 2nd, 1969, at the age of 34, the plane Chris was piloting was shot down in Laos. His family never heard if he perished in that crash or if he was a prisoner of war. Colonel Bogages never came home. A small bone fragment found in the Laos jungle in 2004 matched the DNA of a family member, and Colonel Bogages was finally laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. We thank Colonel Bogages for life given to the protection of this country, and to accept on behalf of Colonel Bogages' family is Phil Donnelly from the CBA class of 1959. It is my honor to induct Colonel Chris Bogages into the CBA JROTC Hall of Fame. From the CBA class of 1969, Robert G. Conway, Jr. While at CBA, Bob Conway was a decorated member of the JROTC program and the cadet colonel of the class of 1969. Upon graduation, Bob attended Dartmouth and then went on to Albany Law School and St. Bernard's School of Theology, earning a Bachelor of Arts, Juris Doctorate, and a Master of Divinity, respectively. In 1975, Bob became a commissioned officer and served his country for 30 years, retiring with the rank of Major in the Marine Corps and Colonel in the New York State Naval Militia. During his time in the Marine Corps, Bob received personal service medals, including Legion of Merit, the Meritorious Service Medal, the Navy Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Navy Unit Commendation Ribbon, the Marine Corps Unit Commendation Ribbon, and the Georgia State Commendation Medal. After retirement from active duty in the Marine Corps, Bob was appointed a lieutenant colonel in the New York State Naval Militia and served as a senior judge advocate, retiring in 2011. Bob has been the counsel and director of legal affairs for the New York State Division of Military and Naval Affairs since 1996. He is the chair of the Roman Catholic Bishop of Albany's Diocesan Pastoral Council, secretary of the Dartmouth Club of Eastern New York, and an active alumnus of Albany Law School, St. Bernard's School of Theology, and most especially CBA. It is my honor to induct Robert G. Conway Jr. into the CBA Hall of Fame. Brian Barr, from the CBA class of 1956, followed his older brothers to Christian Brothers Academy by the direction of his father, who was a New York State trooper and a great fan of CBA. Through parenting and schooling, Brian developed a call to service to help his community. After graduating from CBA, Brian attended St. Michael's College and earned a degree in sociology. Brian is truly passionate about working with others and started his career with a position with Catholic Charities. Within a few years, Brian and his wife Barbara moved with their 2 sons to Boston to attend Boston College, where he received a master's degree before returning to the Albany area to continue his career as a social worker. In the early 80s, Brian joined the Rotary Club of Albany, where he founded the Rotary Youth Recognition Program. The Rotary Club partners with St. Catherine Center for Children, Parsons Child and Family Center, the LaSalle School, St. Anne Institute, Community Maternity Services, and Equinox to honor a student from each of the 6 agencies. Brian worked to have a positive influence on these kids' lives to make sure they do not feel forgotten by the community, but affirmed and appreciated for their hard work and effort to be a good person and to succeed despite the obstacles they face. Brian has said, "It is a privilege to work with people in distress who are looking for help. It is a tremendous honor to share and listen to help others." Brian has received numerous honors and awards for his community work, including the highest honor from the National Rotary Club. He is a selfless servant who puts the well-being of others before himself. The Christian Brothers Academy Lieutenant Colonel Todd Clark Memorial Service Award is presented to a caring, socially aware individual who understands his civil duty and responsibility to others besides himself, and especially the poor. Joining me to present the award is Lieutenant Colonel Todd Clark's father, retired United States Army Colonel Jack Clark, and his family. And it is truly an honor to present the Lieutenant Colonel Todd Clark Memorial Service Award to Brian Barr.
Colleen asked me to say a word, so Colleen, I'll take you up on that. And she said, "Go as long as you would like." Thanks, Colleen. This is a great honor, and one that's tremendously unexpected. The Clark family is a well-known family in our community. Their son, an amazing example for those of us associated with CBA. Lieutenant Commander Clark, obviously known for enormous courage, commitment, and patriotism to our country. Those of us that are aligned have a love for CBA couldn't have a better example of a human being who exemplifies the very best qualities of this school. And for those of you beginning the school year, we really couldn't be standing in the presence of a personage by the name of Todd Clark, who leads the way for us in terms of the qualities and virtues of a human being who knew what he was about, went about achieving it, and leaves a legacy. I can't tell you how humbled I am to be receiving something in his name and now be associated with the Clark family. Jack, Kathy, and your beautiful son, who I said, if you're ever in need of an upbeat, an uplift, call their telephone, their home telephone. I'll not give out the number, but if you want an upbeat message, this young man has a quality in his voice, a lilt, that just makes you feel really good about yourself. And he knows what it's all about. And you, my friend, are in. And count on more calls from me. And the committee, I'm not sure why you selected me. My son is over in Bahrain, Brian, and his beautiful wife, Marilyn, is with me, as are other members of my family, and I thank you all for being here. Said to me when I said, Brian, I don't know why I'm getting this. Todd Clark, Lieutenant Commander Todd Clark, was a man of courage and bravery. I don't possess that kind of courage. I don't possess that kind of bravery, but the committee, for some reason or other, decided to present me this award. And when Colleen called me up and said, you'll be getting a letter to this effect, I called her back and I said, I think you've made a mistake, and don't worry about it. Feel free to select somebody else. And she said, no, it's not a mistake. So I told my son about it, and as I said, he knew about Lieutenant Commander Clark, and he said, this is a big, and I said, don't go the Vice President Joe Biden route. We don't use profanity here. But he said, this is a big effing deal, Dad. So there's no question about it. Jack and Kathy, I consider it a big deal, and I don't know how anything could get any bigger. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. It's a great day at the beginning of the school year. Jim, bye.
Thanks, Colleen, for giving me that latitude.
Yay! Italian! Huntsman, run! Present! Present! Off! Order! Order! Off!
Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the ceremony, and a round of applause for the brigade.
I'd share this with you. I don't know, is this appropriate? All right, here we go.
Great, right there is good.
Still working. Still make them work.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
He made me work.
All right, sorry for getting into sight line.
Great. You're all set. Now
Yeah?
let me, the whole family's
Let me launch this off.
Professional.
Shut